Yes, absolutely, especially in the Spanish economy, which is already struggling with a lower purchasing power, a political crisis in which we are still waiting for the formation of a government. And particularly for households, what's concerning is the impact of the drought on food production, which is also driving up food prices. And so even if, the government will celebrate that it still maintains one of the lowest inflation rates in the European Union, it's still a very tough pill to swallow for consumers in the Spanish economy.
Jimena, you just mentioned the political uncertainty, and today Feijóo and Sanchez are meeting. What are the chances, do you think, of Feijóo potentially being voted as Prime Minister next month?
Well, I think the chances are very slim, and there is wide consensus on that. I mean, just to make it clear, he needs 176 seats, and he's got 172 with coalition partners and support given by other parties. Today's meeting is largely ceremonial, right? Feijóo wants to go to Sanchez and say, look, I was the most voted list on the day. I should be able to form a government. The king has asked me to attempt my investiture, and I will go ahead with the vote at the end of September. We're expecting that vote on the 26th and 27th of the month. But then, on the Sanchez side, we are unlikely to see any concessions and provide those 4 missing votes to Feijóo to actually make it to the 176 threshold. And this is more about showing that, he will continue to maintain formality, go through the constitutional process. But if, as he expects, Feijóo fails to get the seats he needs, then it will be Sanchez's turn to try to form a government himself.
And so if it comes to Sanchez having a go at forming a government, he definitely needs the support of the separatist Catalan party. Is it wise for him to potentially reopen that kind of worms and putting that issue back on the table?
Well, that issue is certainly not going to buy him any votes from the center and the center right, but that's not who he's going for, right? So I think he will attempt to resolve the Catalan question, and particularly issues legal processes pending from the 2017 referendum with an amnesty law. Now, that will need to be negotiated, but what Sanchez is clearly going to attempt to do is look like he is above the judicial quagmire and provide a political solution to a political problem. And he'll also try to speak to the voters, the independent voters who have turned away from the independence parties in the 23rd of July vote and turned to his own party in Catalonia and say, look, let's put national issues above the local agenda. Let's form a government, and let's then try to find a solution for us. That, of course, is going to cause clashes with the center and the center right in parliament. But I think that is the path he is most likely to take going forward.
Jimena, can I bring up the data again and the role of policy, fiscal policy, because the Sanchez government has done a lot to try and keep a lid on escalating prices, from intervening in the energy market, public transport, food. What comes next if there is a change of government? How do you see both sides in terms of the fiscal support from here?
I mean, both sides will have to tighten the belt, because simply it's unsustainable to maintain the level of support that has been provided. I think the difference will be in how they each go about tightening that support and tightening the belt, whether they go for increases, changes in fiscal policy in terms of taxation, whether that's through credits or whether that's through new taxation going forward. So there's a lot at stake here in terms of the formation of a government and how the Spanish economy performs going forward. And of course, I wouldn't rule out seeing Spaniards at the ballot box again in January if the current formation process fails.